Thank you all very, very much. What we're going to do is each of the judges will speak briefly about what we've heard, and I'm just going to start by saying thank you all so much for all the effort and concern that you all have shown the music. A lot of us, I look over, sometimes I see some of our judges getting full. I caught Jeff crying after something. I said, don't let it make your score higher. But it's difficult for us to make you all understand how much we identify with what each and every one of you do and has done, and the type of love and respect and feeling we have for you. So I think we'll start with our youngest judge, Chris Crenshaw.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. And I just want to say before I say anything, it's been an honor to be a part of the judges up here, and they're very warm people, and it was just an honor to be in the war room with them this time. So really enjoyed myself. A lot of good stories. A lot of good stories, and just don't take this opportunity for granted. I'm talking about first-time bands. I'm talking about bands that have been here almost every year. Don't take this moment for granted. I see all the camaraderie. I saw all the support from all the bands, and that's just something special that everyone can share on this year. And we heard a lot of good music. A lot of good music was played. A lot of good moments out there. And I just want y'all to take this one thing with you. Don't forget about nuance. Don't forget about the nuance and the little things and the minor details. It'll help you in the music. It'll help you out in life as well. I mean, you trying to pick up somebody, to take on a date. You might want to give them a compliment or something. That's nuance. I like your hair. I like the way you did your nails, fellas. Hey. Same thing for the ladies too. I mean, I like your haircut. Something like that. I like your suit, nice shoes, things of that nature. But little things that make the music that much better will help. I believe it'll help everyone that's sitting out here. Dynamics, handoffs, from one section to another, cross-section writing, listening to one another when you're playing, and just little things like that. I believe that will take every band in here up to another level. I believe that thoroughly, and I thank y'all for playing, and I enjoy listening to every one of y'all, and good luck in the future. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Chris. Thank you. Also, it's been a pleasure to be asked back after missing a year and being a part of this to participate with this excellent panel of judges and to listen to all of the excellent musicians that we got to hear play. Man, when I was in high school, I didn't sound this good, and it's amazing to me how each year it seems like the level gets better of musicianship gets better, and I just don't know where it's going to stop except put us out of a job maybe. But one thing that I want to point out is that it's a competition, yes, but it's still serving the music. We have to play to serve the music. And if you play to make everyone on that bandstand sound better, what can you do to make everybody in that band sound better, especially from the rhythm sections? What can I do to make everybody on this bandstand sound as good as they possibly can? The whole band's going to sound better if everybody is thinking that way. Sometimes we put the blinders on and we're worried about our own parts, our own solos. Nobody really likes the way we sound, so why should you listen to yourself? Listen to everybody else to help you sound better. That's one thing. The second thing is, don't ever forget the first time you reached up and played a note on the piano when you were 3 or 4 years old, or whatever note you made the very first time. This big smile came across your face. That joy has to be ever present. So we go to music school, we take music theory, we learn all of the patterns and improvisations, we get loaded down with things theoretically in music, business, but you can't lose that initial joy that you had when you first played an instrument, and don't ever forget that big smile that was across your face for the rest of your life. Whether you play music or not, is not important as a career. Take that joy and passion into whatever you do, and life's going to be okay. Now, competition, one more word about competition. When I was a senior in high school in Richmond, Indiana, listen, when you come from Richmond, Indiana, you got to search for love, and I'll take it. Thank you. I was a senior in high school and supposed to be the hotshot snare drummer to blow the walls down, and I had a band director who was a trombone player who gave me the lowest possible score, but in the first rating because my rudiments were too clean. And I knew inside that I owned that snare drum in that whole competition. So, here are 5 people telling you what we think, but it's also what you know in your hearts, and you have to be honest with yourself about your performance and what you did while you were here at Lincoln Center. So just be honest with yourselves, and that honesty is going to come through the music every time. Thank you very much for such a great weekend.
Well, I'm probably going to repeat stuff I've said in previous years, but if I've forgotten it, you probably have too. The first responsibility that you have when you play in a band, and the most important responsibility you have when you play in a band, is to understand the arrangement. Because you function within that arrangement. Very often we concentrate on our own parts and our own instrument, how we sound, and the people around us. But it's very important that you know what everybody's doing in the band, so that you do whatever you do relates to them in the proper proportion and way. Something I learned 40 years ago when I was playing in Chuck's band, I wasn't much older than you, is the importance of the count-off. The tempo, first of all, the tempo, very important. And we saw, we had a bunch of charts that were played by different bands in different tempos. And tempi, yeah. It makes a big difference. Sometimes you play a chart that's a little too fast, and we can't really appreciate the figures in the tune. You really have to give a lot of thought to what's the best tempo, and then during the count-off, everybody's got to concentrate, so that you're swinging before you even play your first note. You're already swinging, because if you're not, then it takes a while. The first couple of, sometimes the band will splat the first note, or the first few bars won't be in time, and then eventually it gets together, or we find the tempo later on. Not so good. Better off with that we settle on tempo. One of the band directors, I can't remember who it was finger popping for a couple of minutes. Thad Jones used to do that at the Village Vanguard. Yeah. Yeah. And I just keep doing this, and I'd be so swinging, and by the time you come in, you're already on the 8th chorus, and it's burning, But everybody has to focus so that when you come in, it's already swinging. That's really important. And I thought the bands were really good. I mean, I've been doing this, 24 years? 19th year. Well, it seems like 24. Yeah. I live for this. This is great. But we've been doing this a long time, and it seems that it gets better every year. I really think that the bands, the level of the bands has. I mean, you should have heard the first couple of years. I mean, it's like nobody ever heard Duke Ellington. Now it's like everybody's heard Duke Ellington, and you got the language, and so now it's a question of how to make what you do more integral to the piece. And what I'd really like to hear is more of a relationship between what the rhythm section does and what's going on in the rest of the band. I want to hear more conversation. This is just that the drummer, what he's playing fits in with the figures and the horns, and the piano player that he's listening or she's listening, and same, when we're playing solos, that it's a conversation. It's not, it's my solo. Whatever, I just play and I'm not listening to the other. I just know what the changes are. No, we have to have this conversation, and when everybody's in on it, and then we build the piece together. within the framework of what the arranger set up, then we're dealing with some very serious. And when the arranger is Duke Ellington, well, sky's the limit. So thank you all very much. This has been, as always, the highlight of my year. Thank you.
I have a friend who remembers dates of everything, and I don't, but I was here some time ago. I don't remember when. The difference is remarkable, really remarkable. A couple of things. Some of you will feel that you have not won. It happens to us too. We lose. Some things that we discussed were more or less objectively quantifiable. If we couldn't measure them exactly, we could all agree this thing is done better by one group of people than another. There are some things like that. There are quantifiable things. Those things were relatively easy. But I will tell you, without exposing anything that I think will make anybody uncomfortable, that the choice of who was the outstanding soloist was really difficult, because it was an apples and oranges situation. When those things arise, it's no longer about who played what and how well they played. It's about us up here. And you can't control that. So you have to leave here with the understanding that, with the hope that you did your best, that you continue to make the effort to do your best, and with the hope that someday somebody gets it. We try to get it, and we love getting it when we get it right. Thank you. I want to add one suggestion, one thing to think about. Overall, I hear too many entrances and exits. I hear people, sections, individuals, play a part of the music where they have notes written on the page, and then they have spaces where they don't have any notes written on the page, and they leave the room. Not literally, but figuratively, they go away. Maybe we don't know that they've gone away, but when it comes time for them to come back in, then we know that they've gone away. And the only way to avoid that bump in the music, that interruption in the flow, is to never go away. Just something to think about as you participate in this, that you must make your part and your participation in the music absolutely continuous and continual, from the beginning of the piece to the end, even when you're not playing. That removes the problem of entrances, and that's a good thing to happen. Thank you so much. It was a great pleasure to be here.
So I'm gonna take off from what Chuck said. I met him when I was 17 at Tanglewood. And he's been a tremendous influence on me and all of us who are serious about the music. Dave, I want you all to understand that what he was saying about a continuum, there's no interest, because we're part of one long continuum of human beings ascending. We always hope we're part of a human ascension. And you all are very, very important because of the optimism that you bring, the unlimited skills, the experiences that you have that are superior to the ones that we had, because we try to create a world for you that's better than the one that we came in here with. But it's all a continuum. One thing leads to the next thing. I had a great uncle who used to always say, boy, you're not going to fix it because you didn't mess it up. And we're so encouraged by what you all are doing. Not just the people who play the best solos or those who can really hear or the ones who get the most cheers. I like to just look at the way people are trying to play parts. I like to look at just the feeling. The feeling that comes off the stage sometimes is so powerful that I actually have to fight back tears. And it's not more now that I'm older than when I was younger. It's really disbelief sometimes at how high the quality of playing has become, and also how high it will be and how much greater it will be long after all of us up here are gone. Because we just have to keep doing our thing. This music is worth us investing our energy and our feeling and our soul in it. And even though it seems like it's in a very small space, we're here in the center of Manhattan. It's streamed all over. Young people all over the world can see this, and they see you all and what you're doing. And there's somebody you don't even know. They might be in Australia, or they might be in Indonesia, and they're checking you out. They say, man, I'm going to play like that. I want to be a part of that. And they will be. I love my young ladies and the way that they're playing. I want my young ladies to play. Come out here and command your space and demand your space in our music by playing. Ooh, we had one section that played on Flirty Bird. It was all ladies playing. It made me get full. I'm serious. And y'all playing with so much feeling. Hey, y'all, I swear, I see them. And let me tell you what I loved. Y'all were playing with so much feeling, and y'all were so for real when y'all played. It was like no hokum. It was just so full of just soul and feeling and love. I just looked at y'all and said, man, Dave and I commented on, look, he's getting full now. We're serious. You have to understand, it's not that we're old softies. I mean, I subbed for him playing Alvin Ailey once when I was 18. I had no idea how to play with a plunger mute. I was his substitute. And when he came back, he said, how did the kid do? They said, he's not as good as you. So you have to understand that we love this music, but we love the continuum of the music. And when we looked at you all, man, what was coming out of y'all was so for real. And that's really what this music is about. So thank you very, very much for that experience. And I want to say, I happened to single you all out. I didn't know you all were sitting there. I could have I really didn't. I didn't think about it, but I could have singled out so many, and not just me, so many of us up here could single out so many of you who gave so much to what this is. And that's what this is about. So I want you all to know that the judging was very contentious this year. As always, I was an advocate for everyone, but these very mean gentlemen, some of them are very ill-tempered. Dave Berger's temper is not good. Jeff Hamilton, he's joking all the time, but he's also very ill-tempered man. Chris Crenshaw doesn't say anything. He just kind of, well, it could be that, or it could be that. And Chuck is the sage, so he's above commenting on stuff. He goes, well, yeah, you know. But at the end of the day, they influence everything that goes on, and the bands that I want to win never win. It's always these very mean people. Now, I want to say that there was 3 or 4 points that separated the top four bands, 2, 3, and 4. So we went to the videotape. We looked and listened to music as long as we could. We listened to songs in common. When we heard on the tape, we hear things we didn't hear in the hall, but 1 or 2 points, it could go either way. I always want to clarify this, because down through the years, we've had different people have different reasons that this is now is politics. Such as politics has nothing to do with it. We're all adults. We know your band directors. We talk to each other. We have seen each other for years. All of the kids are like our kid. You win, you lose, that's life. You move on. Move on with style and dignity. Don't whine. Be great about it. Okay, we were here. Fine. Now, here are the bands in no particular order. Jazz House Kids. Tucson Jazz Institute. Dillard Center for the Arts. Okay, now, I don't want y'all to be mad. I want you to have a good dinner, and I want you to come back here for the concert at 7:30, and we're gonna announce, oh, okay, y'all won. Don't make me feel like I'm in elementary school. We're gonna announce all of the awards after the concert, and the awards are also hotly contested. We take all of these awards serious. We want to reward merit, and we're serious about it. Megan is gonna come back out when we leave to give you some details on tonight, and anyone who has gripes, talk to the other 4 judges, and we will see y'all tonight. Thank you very, very much.
So our 3 top placing bands, please head directly to the Veris Lakeman Recording Studio for dinner at 5 o'clock. There you'll receive further instruction on sound check before the concert. All other bands, please receive your instruments from storage, and we'll see you back here at 7:30 p.m. for the concert. Thank you.
So there we are. We heard the winners. We heard the winners. And it was nice to hear a lot of the words from all of the judges. Wonderful words from David Berger. Such touching words from Chuck Israel. And such wonderful words from Wynton Marsalis. Now we're going to talk to this young man I've been wanting to talk to for quite a while. You want to stand on here so you can be taller than me? Now, your name is, you got to tell me your name again.
Ulysses McClover.
And how are you feeling? Your school won.
Well, we didn't win.
Well, you know what I mean.
As far as we know, we placed.
You placed, but
Yeah.
that's still winning. You did.
Yeah.
How you feel?
I feel good, man. I didn't expect it because there was like so many good bands, man. Like competitions were like fierce, man.
What's the ones that made you kind of go, ooh, like, uh-oh, maybe we don't have a chance? What's the bands?
Osceola was one, the first band that played, but they're from Florida, so that's expected.
Okay, I see you rooting for your Floridans. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's beautiful. Now I want to talk a little bit to you because I heard you play in the jam session, and you got some interesting things. That's why I asked you who you listen to, but I want to know again who you checking out because you got a very unique kind of way you playing, and I like the individuality of it.
Yeah. I'm checking out Thelonious Monk, and of course I'm checking out Duke because that's who Thelonious Monk listened to.
That's right.
And I'm checking out Fats Waller, Willie DeLion Smith, James B. Johnson.
So what's making you check out? I'm very happy you checking those ones out. Yeah. But what's making you check out Willie DeLion Smith, JP? Because I'm telling you, people out there ain't checking them people.
Yeah.
So what's making you checking those great artists?
Because Thelonious Monk checked them out.
I love you. I want you to continue to be how you are.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Continue to strengthen your belief.
Yeah.
Continue to have humility in your heart.
Yeah.
Continue to listen to the music.
Oh, yeah.
All of the music.
Yeah.
Ornette Coleman, Duke Ellington, everything. Like you doing already.
Yeah.
Because you have something special.
Thank you.
I heard you and you touched me. So I'm glad that you're in place with the band, and I hope you continue, and we hope to see you again, man.
Yeah, man. I hope to be here again, too.
Great. Beautiful. All right now. Thank you. You can start being taller than me.